What is going on, everyone? Well, today we are going nuclear because today we've only got one stream coming up, but it's a doozy. On today's show, we're going to reveal and react to the Switch 2 announcement. I'm very excited to take a look at it for the very first time. I have not seen it yet. I saved it for the show. So I had to have some patience this morning, but it's going to be great. Also, Stalker 2 continuing on into the end game. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have DSP Tries It because we hit so many goals this week. So lots of good stuff coming up on today's stream, but in particular, this podcast should be a great one. So sit back and relax. It's time for the Level 1 podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to the show. Of course, I am DSP, and this is the Level 1 podcast, broadcasting from lovely Renton, Washington this morning. It is Thursday, the 16th of January, 2025. It is an abridged streaming day for me. And if you wonder what that means, it means I'm only doing one big stream today, not two like I usually would do. There's good reason for that. I am shuffling around the schedules. I am changing the way I do a few things this year, being that so much is going on. I'm being pulled in many different directions, whether it's playing this game or that game, whether it's doing a podcast or a wrestling commentary show, bringing back my React Nights for my throwback content, being asked on for interviews and the like. I've got a lot going on. And because of that, I've decided to retire my private React content. What does that mean? Well, for the last 2 or so years, I basically said that if someone had pledged $50 or more to my Patreon, yes, I actually have a Patreon. I just almost never mention it. But basically, if they pledged that much, I would make a private video. Now, originally, the idea that I had, no exaggeration, 10 years ago, was to do private Q&A stuff. You could ask me anything, personal questions, stuff about the business, stuff about my opinions on games and the like, and I would give you a prepared, intelligent answer just for you. And you could decide if you wanted to keep that video for yourself or if you wanted to make it public on the internet. You would own the video and it would be totally up to you. So over the years, the popularity of this idea has had peaks and valleys, I definitely say. Originally a bunch of people got these kind of videos, and then after a while, when I became an interactive streamer and a live content creator, mostly on stream in 2017, people were like, why do we need a private Q&A video when we can just ask you questions on stream? Touche, I guess, And so because of that, it kind of became obsolete. Well, about 2 years ago, I rebranded and launched my DSP Reacts channel. And when I started with some projects over there, including some long-form reacting, but also my weekly show, DSP versus the Internet, some people said, hey, it would be great to see you talk about specific topics. And I said, well, if you would like that, what we may do is, instead of doing these private Q&A videos as a result of pledging to my Patreon, instead, maybe I'll do private React videos. And at first, a lot of people actually took part in this. I think 1 month I had something like 8 to 10 different people who did it, which was wild. I got a big jump in revenue and everything that month because of it. But over the years, the initial hype and excitement dwindles. And what's happened is basically we only have like 1 or 2 people who've actually been getting these videos, notably Slayer. As you know, Slayer, who's a longtime viewer, supporter, and moderator of mine, is someone who's been purchasing these videos every month and then uploading them to YouTube himself for people to watch. And the ones that Slayer has had me react to, it's just a wide variety of stuff, notably a bunch of K-pop music videos and documentaries and culture like that, but also stuff from Singapore, food, taste testing and vlogging, documentaries, all kinds of good stuff, right? Good variety of stuff. But over the years, I've also reacted to anime and videos about politics and videos about religion and all kinds of crazy stuff. But in recent memory, basically, I have not seen many people really care about these videos except Slayer. Now, the thing is, to do these private videos. If I only had like one to do and it was 20 minutes, no big deal, right? But the thing is, if I'm getting 2, 3, 4 of these, this is taking up so much time that I don't really have time to do it. I have to take time out of my schedule, meaning I have to actually cancel streams. Now, over the last couple of years, it kind of made sense. Hey, if someone's going to pay me $200 to do a 2-hour private React video, that's probably more than I'm going to make on a stream anyway. So why not do it, right? But what's happened is things have changed. Okay, let's be honest here. Last couple of years, the React stuff has been on the decline, and these last few months, I've been pulled in a million directions to do a bunch of different projects that people like and actually engage and support with. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do a night stream and chances are it'll make like $20 and get 200 viewers. You know, when I do night streams, people show up and people support. It doesn't even really matter what I'm doing. And I'm appreciative of that. But the point I'm making here is I need to make progress in games. I need to make progress in the projects I'm working on. I don't really have time to take away to do private reacts anymore. My time is more valuable now. So I've decided to basically say goodbye to private reacting. And tonight will be the last night I'm doing it. So it's the big hurrah or last hurrah for that. I'm doing a wide variety of stuff for Slayer tonight. But that's why I'm not streaming tonight. Okay. I know this week or this month in particular has been, weird. You had my year-end series that was taking away from my streaming. You know, I've got my new Smart Guy show that's taking away from my podcasting. And now we've got this private react. It's like, when are we going to get back to a regular schedule? Well, hopefully soon. Of course, now that I say that, next week I'm pretty positive I need to have an extra day off because I have a bunch of appointments and stuff set up. So, Jasper Kitty, say hello to everybody. Say hello. Silly guy. So, yeah, so that's tonight, and that's why I'm only doing one stream today. But what a stream. Like, on this podcast, I'm going to live react to the Nintendo Switch 2 first look trailer, which incidentally is 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. 222 for the Switch 2. That'll be fun. I get the feeling just from the initial impressions people are giving online, I'm going to have a lot to say about this. So I guess we'll see. Depending on how time goes, I may also react to the Until Dawn movie trailer, which was released today, which is funny because yesterday I reacted to the 1 minute kind of preview video, but now today they released the trailer. So I kind of wish that I had just waited till today to do that. But I'm actually not sure if I want to do that. And here's why I say it all got claimed. Like yesterday, I did this big podcast where I was reacting to the Mai Shiranui gameplay from Street Fighter 6 and the Until Dawn teaser. Stupid Until Dawn claimed my whole video. Well, guess what, Until Dawn? Just because I reacted to 1 minute of your footage doesn't mean you own the rights to my whole fucking video. I hate the way YouTube works, and I hate that these fucking corporate pieces of shit try to claim things for themselves that they don't own. So it pisses me off because if I react to the Until Dawn trailer, they're going to claim my whole podcast again, and they don't have the right to do that, okay? So we'll see what I feel like doing today. Maybe I'll hold off on doing it. But yeah, only one stream today. After the podcast today, it's going to be Stalker 2. And if you remember, we're kind of getting close to the end of the game. We're in this big segment now where we're teaming up with Scar, and we're going to do like this like storming of a enemy base, and we don't know how it's going to go. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then it's going to be DSP Tries It, Jersey Mike's Spicy Chicken Italian Sandwich, which just is brand new, just released within the last week. And we hit the goals relatively quickly, right? Like I think we had just done a DSP Tries It last Friday, and now we hit the goals again. So we're doing the Jersey Mike's DSP Tries It today, which I'm excited to try. And we're going to do that after the Stalker 2 gameplay, okay? So, good stream, even though it's only one stream today. It's a pretty loaded stream that I hope you guys will enjoy. I actually tried to theme the background to be nuclear today. It's supposed to be like, neon green and yellow and a little bit of brown mixed in there. And to color it for like a, radioactive Stalker 2 landscape. But I'll see when I can theme stuff like that, if it makes sense. I actually wanted to look for a new font for today, but I didn't have time. I ran out of time, but I colored it to be nuclear as well. It kind of reminds me of like the neon yellow highlighters that I used to use back in the day. I used them in college all the time. Um, so anyway, good stuff. Speaking of which, before we get to any real content here, so support's been great. And as you can see, if you look at the leaderboard down here, we've hit 71 out of 80 goals. We are accelerating and moving towards our next rewards at a rapid pace. So here's the deal. The next reward that we're going to earn is at 80 goals hit. That is 80 goals of $150. And remember how it works. Anytime that we hit $150 on any particular stream, it counts as one goal. If we happen to double or triple it, it acts as multiple goals. Okay, 2-3 goals towards the rewards. Now, at 80, we have an option. All right, we're gonna do DSP tries it, but what do we want to do? Do we want to do another food item? Do we want to do something different? Like, do you guys have any idea of an item that I could maybe do a test of that's not food, like a product or something I could do? Or do you have any ideas for maybe some liquor I could try, like maybe some beer or some kind of a hard liquor? And the reason I say that is someone expressed, the desire to see something like that a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I would do it, but I need to know ahead of time so that I can go get that liquor on my day off and have it for when we hit the goals. And what I would do is like a late night stream where perhaps I would actually drink during the late stream while I'm playing a game or whatever, but I would make it a more casualized stream so it's not a big deal, right? So I guess the question is, what are we doing? In regards to fast food stuff, I think KFC just started doing these new bowls that are Nashville hot chicken bowls, and I think one of them has like French fries in it or something like that. Now, I've never had a bowl from KFC before. I almost never eat KFC. I think I've eaten them, no exaggeration, probably twice in the last 5 years. And the KFC that's near me closed, so I would have to order delivery in order to get it. But I have no idea if you'd be interested in something like that. I don't think Burger King has their melt sandwiches anymore. I think they got rid of them, which is fine because they weren't great anyway. I don't even think they have anything new right now at all, now that I'm looking at it. No, they have nothing. So Burger King's got nothing. McDonald's has nothing. I've been checking pizza places. I don't think they have anything. So we may finally be running dry when it comes to things to try. What about Taco Bell? Because I think Taco Bell was supposed to have something new. They do have something new at Taco Bell. So they have, oh God. Let me see here. They do have new items. New steak. Look at this. Oh boy, you ready for this? Steak cheesy dipping burritos or slow roasted chicken cheesy dipping burritos or steak garlic nacho fries. And then they have these Lux boxes, which I don't really know. I guess it's just a combination of items they already would have in a box. They also have a Mountain Dew Baja Blast Dream Freeze, a Baja Blast Strawberry Dream Freeze, and dirty Mountain Dew Baja Blast Dream. What does that mean? Why is it dirty? What? They put a vanilla cream in it. Oh. Why would you put vanilla cream in soda? Oh. Anyway, if you remember, the last thing we tried from Taco Bell a few weeks ago was the Taco Bell chicken nuggets. They actually were good, but they forgot them in my order, and I had to order a second time to get them, and I had to drive there to get them. Anyway, so this is an option, I would say. Definitely, this is something new. The cheesy dipping burritos are the slow roasted chicken dipping burritos. And then this is new, steak garlic nacho fries. I don't know about the Lux box. Maybe what I would do is get one of these burritos, the garlic fries, and this one of the new drinks. This looks all right. Strawberry mixed with Baja Blast. That might be all right. I definitely don't want vanilla cream in my soda. Also, blue raspberry freeze could be pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So I would say maybe this is an option. Okay. This is definitely an option. Do you guys know of anything else that's going on right now? Why does Taco Bell look extremely processed? Because it is. Nothing at Taco Bell is real. It's all fake food. What the hell are you talking about? A long cheeseburger at Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's doesn't do cheeseburgers. What are you talking about? I'm not even going to look it up because they don't do cheeseburgers. The McRib is gone. McDonald's doesn't have the McRib anymore. Jack in the Box? We had looked at Jack in the Box and nothing looked very good. What's new? What's new? What's new? It doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. $5 all-day big meal deal, 2 for $6, wraps. What? Grilled chicken fajita jack wrap, crispy chicken fajita jack wrap, chicken Caesar wrap, boneless wing. There's nothing good at all. This is crappy. This is shitty. Yeah, this is not good. This is horrible. It's horrible. But there is no White Castle on the West Coast. Doesn't exist. No, it only worked when I opened a new tab. It wouldn't work when I clicked on it. It was all fucked up. There is no In-N-Out out here. That is not out here. We don't have Carl's Jr. or Hardee's. Nope. There was one Carl's Jr. out here when I moved out here. They've since gone out of business. Soul food? I don't think there's any soul food out here. Like I said, I live in the Pacific Northwest. This is mostly like Asian cuisine. There's pretty much no soul food. The closest one is over an hour away. Yep. Yeah. Over an hour away. So, yeah, there's no soul food out here. We've done Five Guys before. Here's the thing about Five Guys, okay? It's actually quite good. Five Guys burgers and fries is delicious, but you have to get it fresh. We tried getting it delivery a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. It was awful. It showed up and it was cold and just not very flavorful because it was so, it took so long to get delivered. So, pretty unfortunate. Get a bento box? Yeah, bento box could work from somewhere. There's a couple places around here that do a bento box, actually. There's one place that combines like chicken teriyaki with a bento. So you get like California roll, a gyoza, some chicken teriyaki, and other things. But I've had that before. Yeah, the Five Guys with delivery that I got was awful, man. Really. All right, so here's the deal. We need to figure out what's the next DSP tries it. I'm okay with doing the Taco Bell stuff. Totally, that's fine. Like, that sounds good to me because it's something different. It's actually new menu items, which is fine. As long as it's something new, I'm willing to do it. But if anyone else comes up with something better, I'm open to the suggestion. Keep on. We're already at 71. We're already at 71 out of 80. And, we're hitting these goals very frequently. So sooner rather than later, maybe by mid to late next week, we're going to be doing the next one. So I definitely want to be able to know what we're doing so I can get it ahead of time. Like if we're going to do liquor, I need to know at the end of tomorrow because I need to be able to get it on my day off on Saturday. Nope, we don't have Korean grocery stores out here. Nope. We do have some Asian grocery stores, but they're not Korean branded. It's more like like Vietnamese and stuff like that. Felix the Maid says Chick-fil-A. Fair enough. I've never done Chick-fil-A. And in fact, to be honest, I've only had Chick-fil-A like twice ever. Now, the 2 times I had it in person at the restaurant, and I loved it. But I have not had Chick-fil-A ever for DSP Tries It or anything there. Maybe that. What do you think about that? Try chicken tenders from Chick-fil-A? Avoid the fries. No, I thought I had the fries. I had the I had whatchamacallit, the waffle fries. I love the waffle fries there. I thought they were great. Okay. All right. Well, I'd say those are our 2 options. 2 top options would be the new Taco Bell stuff or Chick-fil-A. Okay. Unless you guys come up with something better, like I said, like a liquor or something, which I need to know right away, that'll be our next ideas for DSP Tries It. Fair enough. Okay. I'm glad we did that right now to get it out of the way. All right. So now speaking of which, no, we don't have a Culver's out here. Culver's is nowhere near out here. So speaking of which, please support the stream today. It's my only stream. So it would be great if we could hit the goal today, at least 1 goal on this stream, since I can't stream tonight. That would be amazing. If you could, thank you guys in advance. Please contribute, and please do it early and often, as they say. Many ways to contribute, including super chats and super stickers and memberships on YouTube, subs on Kick, and tips. So let's get that rolling this morning. How about this? Let's hit $50 at least by the end of the podcast. So that way we don't have to worry too much about it over the course of the stream. All right. We do have a couple shout outs to do. First contribution of the day has already been hit. $4.20 tip. Okay. And it doesn't look like there's a name attached, so it must be anonymous. Hold on 1 second while we get this on the leaderboard here. Okay. All right. So they said, would you be open to limiting the private reacts on Patreon to 5 to 10 minutes for $100? I would be interested in doing it. Huh? Wait, I'm confused. You are offering me, if I'm reading this correctly, let me read it word for word. Would you be open to limiting the private reacts on Patreon to 5 to 10 minutes for $100? I would be interested in doing it. You're offering me $100 to react to a 5 to 10 minute video? Or are you asking me to make you a private video that's 5 to 10 minutes long for $100? I'm very confused about this. The way that it used to work was if you did a $50 pledge to my Patreon, you earned yourself a 20-minute Q&A video. During that time frame, you can ask me whatever questions you wanted, and I would do my best to answer them fairly. Of course, there were some things I wouldn't answer. I'm not going to tell you about stuff in my private life that puts me at risk or anything like that. So that was the original idea. The private react idea kind of ballooned and went out of control, where then it somehow became 30 plus minutes of private reacting for $50, which is not what it was ever supposed to be. It was supposed to be 20-minute Q&A for $50. So I think that's one of the things that's happened is these private react videos have kept extending in length. And so now people are paying $200 and somehow I'm reacting for 2.5 hours. But that's like, if you do the math, actually, it never should have been that much. It should have actually been either way shorter or way more money. And somehow I got myself roped into doing these really, really long reacts. Um, so, anyway, so if you're saying 5 to 10 minutes for $100, I guess it would depend on what you're talking about. Because a lot of the times, here's the thing, people will be like, well, I want you to react for me. Okay. So they pledge and then they submit a video that's like 25 minutes long. Well, if I react to a 25-minute video, I have to react to it, meaning I have to pause and talk. So now my react is like 45 minutes long, but you only paid me enough for 20 minutes, but now I'm roped into this thing. And that's happened to me a bunch of times where people submit like way too much video to watch for the time frame that was agreed to. So you're saying 5 to 10 minutes for $100. I need to know what you want me to react to. I need to know what you're even talking about. If you're interested, email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com, and we can talk about it. But I'm not committing to any long form reacts whatsoever. I don't want to do long form reacting right now. It takes too long, and the whole idea is to not be missing streams. So yeah, I need to get out of the habit of getting roped into doing too much, you know. Thanks for the tip, the first tip of the day. And then I received a $2 tip. And it's an idiot, so I'm just going to ignore him. And I'm going to say, take your $2 and you can suck it. Spawn Killer, 21 minutes, 44 months in a row as a super supporter. Would you bring back a retrospective event? Would you bring back the suggestion box? Now, hold on. We got to talk about each of these. Retrospective event versus retrospective stream. Like, I'm confused. People need to elaborate more when they're asking me these questions. Retrospective event would be like a marathon where we just go back and we watch a whole bunch of stuff from the past that people suggest. We've done that a few times, but after doing it a few times, basically people kind of got bored of that idea because I guess I had reacted to most of the stuff that people wanted to see me react to over the years. So we kind of stopped doing it, and then we brought back the whole idea in a different form with the retro react late night streams that we did over the course of last year on the DSP Throwback channel, where I was reacting to my old playthroughs. Sometimes they were newly restored for the channel with, you know, improved visuals and audio. Other times we were just watching the original raw playthrough. So I need to know what you mean by that, Spawn Killer. Like, what do you mean? If you're meaning bringing back a formal retrospective event, we surely could do that. Remember, with our new goal system in place, every 50 goals hit, we're doing a marathon. At the 100 point, we're going to be doing viewer's choice, where people are going to nominate and vote on a game. That game will be played in a marathon setting to see if it fits a format for a playthrough. And if it works well, then we're going to do a full playthrough of it over time. But what we just did at 50 and what likely we'll end up doing at the next, 50 milestone is a themed marathon. Now, that could be anything. It could be a retro rage-a-thon like we just did with Mega Man, and we could continue with Mega Man 4 through 6. But hey, we could do a retrospective event where people nominate their favorite things that I've done over the years, and I go back and react to it. So yeah, I'm down for that if that's what you're interested in. Okay, but, that'll be something for the future. We're not going to be doing a random retrospective out of nowhere, but maybe when we hit that milestone. Okay? Cool. All right. Now, as for suggestion box, boxes, basically, every once in a while, I would draw upon those when I needed input on stuff. But you guys have been doing a great job, I feel, of coming on the podcast and actually suggesting things live, which has been great. So really, I haven't had the need to look upon the suggestion box in a long time. I'm not saying I would never use one again. I'm just saying right now, it doesn't seem very pertinent that we're doing pretty good right now, no? We got good playthroughs going. New ones are about to start. I'm going to tell you about that in a second because we just finished 2 playthroughs yesterday. Yesterday was a really productive streaming day. I'm happy for that. So yeah, we got new playthroughs on the horizon. We've got the Smart Guy show going 2 weeks strong. And actually, I watched AEW last night, Oy vey. That'll be an interesting show next week for sure. We got a lot going. So really, I don't know, if we would do we really need to be going into a suggestion box when everything's going smoothly and we're doing a lot of good content? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about yesterday. Let's get this out of the way. Folks, yesterday was a really great streaming day. I finished 2 games, and I wasn't expecting to do that. So I wrapped up both Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and killer frequency. So in this segment, what I would like to do is tell you my opinions on each game in summary, so you guys know exactly what's going on, and go from there. All right. So here's the deal. Indiana Jones. Now that I finished the game, okay, my playthrough was around 30 hours long. It was about 25 parts, but some of those streams, the parts ended up going a little longer, like an hour and a half. So if you actually add up like all the time of the playthrough, it's about 30 hours long. Okay. So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. When we were going into this game, the number one question was, how on earth is this game going to play? Because how do you simulate being Indiana Jones, right? It's not going to be a full-on first-person shooter where Indiana Jones is pulling out tons of guns and blowing away Nazis constantly, because he doesn't do that in the movies. At the same time, in the movies, there's always an air of adventure and exploration. He uses his whip to not only, like, attack enemies, but also to do things like swing and do traversal and stuff like that. There's action sequences in the movies, nice set pieces and stuff like that. And so I think everyone was wondering, how will this translate into a game? Well, now that I've beaten the game, I'm pleased to announce that it's actually done pretty well. It is a hybrid. It is a first-person hybrid exploration RPG with combat elements as well. Troy Baker does the voice of Indiana Jones and sounds very close to Harrison Ford. There's sometimes you can definitely tell it's not him. For the most part, though, he's pretty darn good at it. I'd say he does a great job being the Harrison Ford character. Locations. There's Vatican City in Rome. There's the pyramids and the Sphinx in Giza, Egypt. There's some really quick segments in the Himalayas, also in Shanghai, China. Then there's a very lengthy segment in Siam, and then a big finale in the Middle East. So those are the different locations you'll be visiting in the game. Some big variety of locations and climates and stuff like that. There's at least 3 large open world segments in the game where the map is huge and you go around exploring and doing side content missions like finding hidden temples and, exploring and solving puzzles, kind of like Tomb Raider, Uncharted-esque stuff, but it's all in first person. So you got to expect to be doing a lot of first person platforming and be okay with that. I'll be honest, first-person platforming for me is a little clunky. I always feel like I don't have full control of the character. I wish I could just grab that thing that's right in front of me. I don't know why I can't. But it's done pretty well. I feel, for the most part, I don't think I was ever really stuck on anything for more than just a couple of minutes to figure out any puzzle, but the puzzles seemed fun to complete. Treasure hunting, a big part of the game. You're constantly looking for artifacts, hidden clues and mysteries. Sometimes there's like a code you need to crack to open a safe. Sometimes you need to get a puzzle solved to open a secret wall that'll find something hidden in an area. So there's enough content in the game that even if you're just doing like a streamlined story, right, you'll probably beat the game in like 15 hours. But if you actually take your time to investigate and look for hidden stuff, you're going to have a lot more fun, and there's a lot of optional content to be had in the game. The game has an upgrade system where you find books, and based on how much content you complete, meaning main story missions, but also collectibles that you find in the environment and also solving these side quests, you can earn experience points that you can use to unlock new abilities. And they can range pretty wide range. For example, get more stamina, get more health, do more damage with your fists, be able to repair weapons better, do more damage with weapons, increase your capacity for bullets or your inventory, stuff like that. And the game has a lot of inventory management as well. You're going to have healing items, bandages, but also you're going to have food of different types. One type of food will actually pad your health bar, while the other type of food pads your stamina bar. If anything, like of all the things in the game, okay, the one thing that I have to criticize is the combat. The combat is sadly a little on the wonky side. And to be honest, I didn't even use guns ever in the game. I'm going to repeat that. 30-hour playthrough, I fought countless amounts of Nazis, Italian dudes, fascists, or whatever they're called in the game. I never used a gun. You can use guns. They're all over. There's shotguns, there's machine guns, there's handguns. I didn't have to use them. For the most part, if you just upgrade properly, you can whip an enemy, which stuns them. So later on, you can whip and grab an enemy and pull them towards you to either disarm the weapon or just stun them. And then you just beat the crap out of them with your fists. Every once in a while, you can like parry an attack and then punch them back, or you can dodge left and right and punch. You never need to use a gun. Now, if you use a gun, I'm sure the game is easier, but I didn't really think of Indiana Jones as the kind of guy who would just pull out a full auto weapon and start blowing away, mobs of people. I mean, yeah, there's times in the movies where he does use a gun, but it's kind of sparingly, right? So, the graphics, great. On PC, the graphics of this game were pretty outstanding. High frame rate, even at 4K, ran at 60 frames for me. Looked gorgeous. The only criticism, there was one open area, Siam. We were actually on a boat rather than on foot. And when you're going through this flooded jungle, there's big pop-in, and if you turn, there's frame rate drops. But that was the only part of the game that I really had graphical issues. For the rest of the game, everything was smooth sailing and very gorgeous. The plot, very interesting. Kind of feels like a legit plot they would have in an Indiana Jones movie. There's this great circle, which is apparently artifacts that you need to find that will form this great circle, and no one knows what it does, but apparently it has mystical powers. The Nazis are after it. But there's also this order of giants, like mystical giants that are after it. And so you're in the middle of this and trying to figure out what's really going on. And you're also trying to grab these artifacts and prevent the Nazis from getting them. And there's twists and turns and mysteries and interesting characters and all kinds of stuff. There's even connections and throwbacks to the movies. Like there's references to Indiana Jones' dad. There's the guy who's his friend from the university is there. So lots of stuff there. If you're a big fan of Indy, you're really going to like this game. I would say overall a great time. If you're a fan of Indiana Jones, you're going to love it. If you're not a fan of Indiana Jones, you'll probably still like it as long as you like open world exploration, adventure, and RPG elements. It's quite a good game. The only problem I had with it, there was a game bug, and the game bug was very annoying. Once you get to the final open world area, at one point, the plot wants you to buy a rebreather device that lets you swim underwater for an extended period of time. So they're like, well, go get money to buy it, or there's a mission where you can actually raid a Nazi camp and steal their money. I decided to do the former rather than the latter. I just did open world exploration, and I stumbled upon a bunch of side missions. Then all of a sudden, I just had the rebreather. I don't know how I got it. It just appeared in my inventory, and because I already had it, I wasn't able to buy it, and the game soft locked me. So what I had to do was actually cheat and get advice on where to go, where you use the rebreather. And once I went to those places, I was still able to do the missions there. So that was good, that you could work your way out of the soft lock, but you kind of had to spoil yourself on the plot a little bit because you wouldn't have known where to go without looking it up. But I was able to get past it, and yeah, we beat it yesterday. And let me say, the ending was great. The ending was like the epic ending of any Indiana Jones movie. Action, great, kind of like mythical religious plot line. Very well done. And when it ended, I was like, wow, that was a really good game. I was surprised it was that good because it's the first outing of Machine Games to do something very different like this. If it does well enough, I would like to see another one. I'm seriously, I would like to play another Indiana Jones game. I think this one was definitely good enough that they could improve upon the formula in certain ways and make another one that's just as good, if not better. So I would love to see a sequel. And I will say this, if this actually had come out earlier and I'd beaten it in 2024, this would have definitely ranked in one of my top 5 games of the year. I'm serious about that. It's that good. It's in my top 5 games of last year that I played. It's just a shame that it came out when it did, because now the game will not be nominated for awards at the Game Awards next year, which is bullshit. Because it's a really good game, but because the Game Awards cares more about money than actually rewarding good games, you will never see this game nominated because it came out at the odd time and no one's going to be thinking about this game next December. You know what I mean? So it is unfortunate, but I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed the playthrough. Give it a look. It's 25 parts on DSPGaming, and I think you'll have a good time with it, especially if you like Indiana Jones. Okay? What did you think about it? What did you think about it, Jasper? Ow. He just clawed me so bad. Jasper, did you really have to do that? Did you really have to climb up me there and claw me? I wonder how bad he clawed me, because that really hurt. I might have to go disinfect in a second. He doesn't know his own strength because he doesn't remember. Sadly, he is front declawed. We rescued him from a shelter, okay? And he was front declawed, and we don't know why. Because typically, if a cat gets declawed, he gets declawed both front and back, okay? So it's weird that he was only front declawed. He doesn't realize the power of the claws on his back feet because he doesn't have claws on his front paws. So he literally does stuff with his back feet, not realizing, and then he tears stuff up. He scratches us, and we're like, ah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go check this out. He just stomped on me, and I want to make sure I'm not bleeding because that hurt pretty bad. Well, yeah, it was I suspected. 2 deep cuts going down my chest, bleeding all over the place. So I had to disinfect with alcohol, and it seems to be stopping now. So I guess we can continue with the show. More wounds of having a cat, folks. All right. So Indiana Jones was great. We have some tips to shout out. Then I want to talk about Killer Frequency. And then I'm going to live react to the Switch 2 first look. Okay? Cool. All right. We got a $4.20 tip. So there we go. It wasn't playing. Okay. So we got a $4.20 tip. This is from the same person from before. He said, yes, private reacts capped at 10 minutes max at $100. Should I sign up on Patreon or PayPal it to you and then email? Neither. You should email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com to discuss the idea first. I don't want you to send me a ginormous contribution for something that I'm not really interested in or something that I can't commit to. And then, you're disappointed and I have to refund it. So email me first and we'll talk about it and we'll go from there. Okay, thank you for the contributions this morning. Okay. I received a $1.13 tip from Toxic Toilet Rhino Diarrhea Balls Exploding Liquid 345. They said grossness returns. So what are your guys' thoughts on me reacting to stuff like that? Because people are saying that I shouldn't be reading dollar tips that are gross like that. People are actually saying I should just skip them. Or just say, hey, thanks for $1 and don't even read it. I need your feedback. I'm willing to do whatever. You guys let me know. Okay. I received a $2 tip. Here we go. Your sweater looks like a green version of Chris Chan's sweater. So literally you think any sweater looks like Chris Chan's sweater. That's a pretty big level of obsession, I would say. That you think that any sweater literally on earth is a Chris Chan sweater. I mean, that's pretty bad. Let me ask you a question. This is an honest question for the person who tipped. How many times a day do you think about Chris Chan? On an average day, all right? When you go about your business, you're doing your daily routines. How many times a day do you think of Chris Chan? Okay. How about this? You ready? Here's an experiment. I want you to sit back in your chair and I want you to close your eyes. Now, you know how normally when you close your eyes, you see like it's black, but you see like sparkly things a little bit. It's like some colors, some flashing. Do you see Chris Chan? If you do, I recommend that you immediately head to a doctor. This is incredibly disturbing at this point. This guy is so insane. And thinking about Chris Chan constantly, it's like, oh my Lord. Anyway. Okay. What's my star sign? I look like a Leo. I think I'm Aries, the Ram. I'm born in April. I think I'm Aries. Anyway. All right. So, yeah, exactly. Dabhan says, I guess nothing with stripes is a no-go from now on. When you look at the American flag, do you think, man, it looks like the American flag is wearing the Chris Chan sweater? Is that what you say? Wow. Anyway. What? A frozen minor meal for DSP tries it? I have no idea what that means. The frozen minor meals? No, I never heard of it. Is it an item you buy at the grocery store? A miner's meal often consists of a handheld pie called a pasty, a popular food for miners in the 19th and 20th centuries. It's popular in Cornwall, England. I never heard of this before. Nor do I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in a grocery store. Miner meals? No, I don't know what you're talking. I don't see it. No. Leonardo DiCaprio did not die. What are you guys talking about? What a stupid idiot to say that. Leonardo DiCaprio has not passed away. What a horrible thing to say. Okay. All right. Let us continue. Folks, now I would like to talk about Killer Frequency. Okay, so Killer Frequency is a game that when I got my gaming PC, and now I was opened to being able to play a better variety of games because I'm not just limited to console. One of the big games that people suggested for like an indie game was Killer Frequency. And the reason that people thought this would be a good one for me personally is because it's a combination of kind of a thriller murder mystery that unfolds over the course of a game. It's narrative based, and people think that me playing narrative based games is quite entertaining. And of course, it's indie style. It's 1980s. It's set in the 80s. And, you know, I grew up in the 80s, and I like everything that's kind of like 80s nostalgia. So they thought, oh, this would be perfect, right? Now, we originally played it in early December. I had an Indies day where I played 3 different indie games. I had played Balatro, the coin game, and Killer Frequency all in one day. I'm going to be honest with you. That first segment of 45 minutes or so that I played it, I didn't like it. I thought the start was way too slow. And basically, you just stood there in a radio booth at a radio station and did very much almost nothing. It was almost all dialogue choices. Like, there was really nothing else for you to do. Now, admittedly, I think the dialogue choices did matter. Like, depending on what you said, you could save the life of someone who this killer is chasing or whatever. But that first hour was honestly, for me, not a very good impression. I actually didn't like it that much. But people were like, I feel like if you continue to play and you give the game like a second chance on a stream and you actually see how, you know, where it goes, you'll like it better. And so I decided, hey, you know what? Maybe we will give it a second chance. Maybe we will actually try it again. So we did. I actually did a stream where we would do 2 hours of this game and give it a fair shot. And admittedly, once we got 2 more hours into the game, I felt like it got better. So in a nutshell, here's the plot of Killer Frequency. I won't spoil any plot twists or anything like that. You are a radio DJ in a very small town, and basically you are working with your producer, who's in another sound booth across from you, who does things like fields calls, tells you, like, oh, you got to run an ad, you got to do this, you got to do that, helps you with the running of the show. So that's not just a one-man show. So as you're broadcasting one night, all of a sudden you get a call from the local 911 operator saying that there is a killer on the loose in town. The killer has already murdered the deputy and the sheriff, and there is no law enforcement in the town to stop them. So the 911 operator is going to basically go to one town over in a car to try to get help, but you now have to take in all the 911 calls coming through the line live on the air. And hopefully you'll be able to help people who are being chased by this killer. Obviously, this is a ridiculous thing that would never happen, correct? Like, this would never, ever happen. But it's an interesting premise for a video game. And over the course of the game, you're trying to save all these different people in different situations, you know. For example, someone is in an office and the killer's coming after them. So you happen to get the map of the office layout via fax. Yes, fax, when the people used to actually use those, right? And you're trying to direct them how to move throughout the office to avoid detection of the killer, but also try to trap the killer in a room, okay? In another situation, there's a woman who the killer's right outside, and what you need to try to do is get the attention of a fraternity down the street and get the drunken frat boys to come to her house and party to scare away the killer. So there's various different ways you could do this, and there's puzzles and things that you need to do. But basically, it's kind of an interesting narrative-based game. Now, for the most part, you spend the entire game in the radio booth. You do. You're never going to really leave it, except for a couple situations where you're going to other floors of the radio station looking for information. but for the most part, um, it's just you in the radio station talking to people over the phone or talking to your producer. Um, so if you're not into that, if you're not looking for narrative based, you want action, you want slasher, stuff, you're not going to really get it. But if you're into story, it's pretty good. Now, here's the thing. I feel like this game could have been audio based. This game could literally be a book, and it would be fine. Like, it doesn't really need to be a video game. There's nothing so interactive in the medium that makes it significant. That you have to play it. You know what I'm saying? But it was fun. It was a fun game. Overall, I think it was around 7 hours for me, and I had a good time with it. I'm happy I played it. I actually did really well. But the only criticism I really have is this. Okay, the game has situations where it's not really clearly explained what's going on or what a dialogue choice means. And you can easily accidentally pick a dialogue choice that gets you into a bad situation, but you didn't know that that's what it meant. Like, for example, there was this one time when a woman was describing something and the dialogue choice was, oh, that's really bad. But it's like, are you saying the situation is bad or what the woman did was bad? You can't tell. So I picked it because I thought it said, oh, that situation is really bad. Like, you feel bad for the woman. No, you were actually criticizing the woman and she got pissed at you and then went off and did something rash. It's like, wait, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't even understand what the dialogue choice meant. And then there's other situations where it's like trial and error. You have no idea what's going to happen. So you kind of have to fail first to figure out the right outcome to get what you want to happen. So it's not perfect. It's not flawless, but it's good. And I had a good time with it. I'm glad that I played it. Is it anything to write home about? Like, oh my God, groundbreaking? No. But if you like narrative-based stuff, you want something that's a little unique set in the 80s, it's a pretty good game. It's short. It's not that expensive. So I do recommend that you give it a look. Killer Frequency was a pretty good time on PC. And because there's the possibility that your choices matter, people could live or die, okay, depending on your choices and what you do. It could lend itself to multiple playthroughs or saving at certain points of the game and then kind of reloading and trying different outcomes to see how it changes, how the game unfolds. So you might want to check it out, okay? Cool. Killer Frequency was a good time and a good playthrough. Okay, I'm back. So a couple more shout outs to do. And then I think we're going to probably do live react to the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. But let's see what people have to say here. I got a dollar tip. Do you have a sweater that looks like the Chris Chan sweater? No. I literally do not own any sweaters that look like the Chris Chan sweater. People are idiotic and say that, but they're wrong. No sweaters that I own look like the Chris Chan sweater. And then someone says, give us the loudest snort you can make it to the microphone. No thanks. Although today, I'll admit, I do have some nasal drip that's really bothering me today. And I think it's because the weather here has turned. It's colder now. Like, it's in the 30s every day. But because of that, my heat in the house is on nonstop. And when the heat is on, it basically affects my sinuses really badly. So it's really annoying, but it is what it is. I got to put up with it for now. No Kermit Jelly Belly. We're not going to do that, but thanks for the super chat. I don't know why I'm hearing a garbage truck outside because we're not having trash. So there's a garbage truck outside making tons of noise, yet we don't have trash today. The hell's going on out there? There's all kinds of distractions today. So there was a recycling truck outside, but there's no recycling this week. So I don't even know what they were picking up, but they were making tons of noise. Anyway. Okay. So, I think it's time. It makes sense for us to now react to the Nintendo Switch 2 first look trailer. But guys, please support the stream. All right. We are about, over an hour into the show and, we're at $14. It's not a good sign. I would hope that we do better by the end of the stream or the end of the, podcast to get good momentum here. Obviously, I want to hit the goal today because I don't have a late stream tonight. Okay. Okay. All right, ready? I'm ready. I hope you're ready. It would help if I used the correct mouse. Okay. Set up here. Should be good. I guess we'll find out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Switch 2 first look trailer here, January 16, 2025. Let's give it a watch. It's the Switch. Okay, so bigger screen. It looks exactly the same. It still looks the same. USB port on the bottom? No. That's the port on the bottom to put it into the dock, perhaps? Probably. Okay, power and volume button. How revolutionary. Another port. Is that USB? I can't tell if it's USB or not. And a headphone jack. Not that that really matters unless you're using it portably, but okay. Lines. Oh, wait. Okay, so that's the stand. So they're showing that it also goes almost flat. Okay, it's USB-C. So it basically has a USB-C port on the bottom to dock it, and then another USB-C on top. Okay. Okay, please, yeah. I was just gonna say, please tell me the Joy-Cons are done. So they've redesigned the Joy-Cons. Hold on. So that's the old Joy-Con. And as you can see, everyone hated those arrow buttons. Everyone thought the arrow buttons were atrocious. They were. That's terrible for a D-pad. They never should have had that. I mean, how funny is it? There's a start button that is a plus sign, which is what you want for the D-pad, but they didn't make a D-pad on it, right? So let's see what they did with the new one. They still didn't put a D-pad on it. They slightly extended the size of it to fit the newer, bigger screen, but they still didn't put a D-pad on it. Okay. What the hell is that? What is that supposed to be? Put silly putty on it? What is that? Okay, hold on. So they added a whole bunch of buttons? Like, what the hell is that? Are they showing that you could use it to control a different way? That it's got different buttons on it or something? First of all, I don't even understand the color thing. Are they saying that you can get it in a two-tone color scheme or an all-black color scheme? Is that what they're suggesting? If that's the case, why would you want black and peach? That's the weirdest color combination ever. Like black and blue, black and red. Hell, black and green, black and white. Black and peach is the last color combination I would think of for a console. And then I guess what they're showing is that there's all these buttons, SL, SR, so it could be used as a standard Wiimote or like a Wiimote style controller, but also you could turn it on its side and it controls differently, I guess. I guess that's what they're getting at. All right. Okay, here's the other side. Okay, they're showing a blue color. That one, I like that. Black and blue works. I don't like black and peach, but black and blue works. All right. It has buttons. That's cool. It has a thumbstick. That's neat. Controller has buttons and a thumbstick. That's neat. All right. They got the straps, even though no one ever uses them. Did you ever see anyone actually use the straps on like the Wiimotes? I didn't. Okay. Now wait a minute. What is that? So they no longer slide and snap in. You just push it in straight into a port like that? Like, let me put it this way. For ease of use, that's good. But doesn't that seem like that could easily break? Like, doesn't it seem like you easily, it's going to snap? To me, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, I would say ease of use, yes, but that would make me nervous that would snap off. Oh, wait, did you see that? I think it's magnetic. I think it's magnetic and it snaps in place. So right off the bat, okay, the idea that the Joy-Cons are not these odd sliding, clicking contraptions is an improvement, in my opinion. The idea that they snap on magnetically is good. An increased size screen, I guess for some people who use it portable, you'd like that. But realize this means it's now going to be heavier and more cumbersome. It's not going to be as compact as the Switch was. And quite frankly, when the Switch came out 8 years ago, this was a revolutionary concept. Is this a revolutionary concept anymore? Now you have 10 competitors, right? The ROG Ally, the Steam Deck. There's a million of these now. So I don't really know if this is as special as it was 8 years ago. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what else they've got. 2. Yes, Switch 2. Okay. So wait, are they saying that each one comes with blue and peach? Like that's the default color scheme? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Blue and red are classic primary colors, right? Peach and that weird sky blue, I don't know if I like that color scheme. Hopefully you can get different color schemes than that. Ugh. Okay, whoa, hold on. Let's analyze this. Can we go back? Here we go. So a new Mario Kart. I'm hoping, please tell me this is a new Mario Kart. And this is not Mario Kart 8 14th port, right? Hold on. Hold on, shit. Go back. So I see Wario. I see Donkey Kong. They're too small to really see. Bowser. Anyone new? No, it looks like all the regular, there's Toad, right? Mario, Luigi. It's all the regular suspects. I don't see anyone new. Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Are you noticing something? Do you guys see what I see? Count the number of starter lines. There's 4 rows of 6. That means the new Mario Kart may have 24 players. That's going to be insane chaotic. Like, that's wildly chaotic, I think. All right. Yeah, see, these are the usual suspects. No one new here. Ooh, that's the new dock. Okay, now hold on. I'm just going to say this. It needs to have an Ethernet port. If this dock does not have an Ethernet port at launch, this is just, at this point, Nintendo nickel and diming the customer. Because everyone wants an Ethernet port on that dock. No one wants to be forced to use wireless or buy an adapter. It should have an Ethernet. The Switch did not, and then years later they redesigned the Switch, and the later model had it. They need to have it in there by default. If not, that's bullshit. Let's find out. Okay, that's exactly the same as the regular Switch, how you can make a controller out of the Joy-Cons. Is this it? That's literally it? Wait, what? Plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or not fully compatible. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. All right, that's good. That I will applaud. That deserves applause because with the Wii U, right, that was the biggest problem. The Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii, but then when the Switch came out, you couldn't play the Wii U games on the Switch, so they ended up porting them all. So it was a way to get money twice. Any game you had bought on the Wii U, which got defunct, right, became obsolete, you then had to buy the new version on the Switch in order to continue to play the game, which was really stupid. Like, I owned Zelda Breath of the Wild on Wii U, but couldn't play it on my Switch. They had 2 versions of the game. So That's a good thing. Now, it says not every game, hopefully most first-party games, okay? That's a good thing. And since it says digitally, that's a good thing because I bought pretty much every single game on my Switch digitally. So that means I'll be able to download them and play Switch games on the Switch too if I so choose. That's great, okay? However, the Nintendo Labo will not work on the Switch too. So all of you that spent hundreds of dollars on cardboard, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to throw it out. Okay, let's continue. Okay, anything else? Or is that it? Okay, there will be a Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2 April 2nd. Is that April 2nd or is that February 4th? Because in the United States, it's month, day, year. April 2nd is a long time to wait. 3 months? They really want us to wait 3 months to have concrete information on this thing? Is it confirmed April 2nd? It's confirmed it's April 2nd, not February 4th. Wow, that stinks. 3 months to wait for actual concrete information. So let's hope that on April 2nd, this is going to blow us out of the water. We're going to get all our first-party game announcements. And let's also hope for a launch window that's not the fall. Okay? Seriously, I would like this to be like June, July. Why? Because the summertime is usually dead for games. That would be the perfect time for them to release this and get tons of attention and get a lot of people to drop a lot of money on it. This would be the whole summertime of gaming would be playing on your Switch 2, all the amazing first-party titles. It looks like starting with Mario Kart, but man, I would like them all. Give me a new Donkey Kong. Give me a new Mario. Give me, all the stuff we've been craving. Give me a Kirby. What about whatever happened to Metroid? Oh, Metroid Prime, what is it, 4? Hopefully we get big announcements in April about all of these games coming up, okay? Oh, I just hit spacebar on the wrong PC. I'm such a dunce. Okay, is that it? That's it. And it says there's going to be a series of hands-on events all over the world. All right. Okay, so what are my thoughts, okay? Man, let me go ahead and give you my thoughts because actually I have a lot of thoughts right now. Oops. So here's, oh God, it's too red. Okay, that's better. So here's my thoughts, okay? That didn't tell us much at all, did it? It didn't show us the power of the console. It didn't say any of the specs. It didn't have pricing. It didn't say if there's different models, no release date. All we know is we have to wait until April to get more information. All it was a, hey, it exists, all right? Why do I think they just did that? Because it leaked. That's why. Because it leaked. If it didn't leak, okay, if it didn't leak, I don't think they would have done this at all. I think they would have just waited till April. But for those who don't know, the Consumer Electronics Show just happened. And at the Consumer Electronics Show, there was a certain company. I think they were called Genki or Geki. And they are a third-party accessories company. And for some reason, they had a Switch 2 because they were showing off their accessories for the Switch 2. But they actually had the Switch 2. So everyone went to their booth and was like, wait, how do you have this? They're like, yeah, because we're designing accessories for it. Here it is. And everyone was like, well, this is real? And they're like, yeah, this is the real console. Huh? But Nintendo didn't show it yet. Yeah, here it is. So then, if you didn't know, Nintendo lawyers went over to this booth and said to them, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? We didn't even reveal it yet. And they're like, because we're not under any non-disclosure agreement to not say anything about the Switch 2. You never signed us to one. So we'll do whatever we want. Have a nice day. And they sent them on their merry way, and Nintendo basically running away with their tail between their legs because they didn't have a legal leg to stand on to stop this company from showing off the Switch 2. So, man, I mean, pretty sad that Nintendo has kind of like, lost their power in this regard, that they basically got completely spoiled. Now, here's the thing. I didn't pay attention to any of the spoilers because you never know if it's real or not. Well, now it's basically confirmed because this Switch 2 that we just saw looks exactly like what was leaked at CES. It looks exactly the same. So it's dead on correct. They showed the real Switch 2, or even if it wasn't a real operating model, what they showed was representative of the hardware of the Switch 2. Okay? Now, from what I just saw, initially, my first impression, you're probably not going to like it. Okay? But I'm going to be honest with all of you. Okay? I want you to look at every major console that Nintendo has come out with in history. Okay? The Famicom, home console, revolutionary controller concept, great graphics for the time. Super Nintendo added way better technology and graphics. Controllers that added shoulder buttons and a ton more control to your games. Revolutionary concept. Nintendo 64, again, a jump in graphical capability and a controller that had a thumbstick as the very first thing, which no other controller had at the time. It was revolutionary. Again, blowing your mind that this controller concept would be the future. GameCube, admittedly, kind of a misstep, I feel, but the GameCube being more of a kitty-looking console with a controller with giant buttons, but it was portable, right? It was a different kind of console for the time, but it still was different. The Wii, motion controls, revolutionizing the gaming industry, okay? The Wii U, admittedly another misstep for Nintendo. I don't think anyone cared for the ginormous controller with a screen on it, but they at least were trying to innovate in some way and add something creative and different. The Switch, turning your home console into a hybrid portable console that also had motion controls and all the things that they had innovated previously all in one. Okay? So that's the history of Nintendo consoles. Now, of course, I'm leaving out Game Boy and stuff like that, but you see what I'm saying. Every console attempted to innovate. Switch 2. Hold on. I'm trying to find the picture of it together. Here it is. Switch 2. Do you see a little difference here? Do you see possibly a problem or a big omission? Can you please tell me what on the Switch 2 is revolutionary? What new concept Nintendo has added? What new groundbreaking thing Nintendo is trying to do with this console? It's just another Switch. I mean, they don't even need to call it the Switch 2. They already had the Switch OLED. They might as well call it the Switch OLED 2 or the Switch Max or the Switch Pro. What was it that they called the Game Boy Advance, the big one? XL, Switch XL, right? But it's just Switch 2. It's not, they didn't add anything. And every single other major console they have. This may be the first time ever in Nintendo's history they decided to not add an innovation to their new console. They're just improving upon the previous console, okay? Now, here's the thing. If this console has a much improved graphical engine / better GPU, if it has way more storage, if it has all the features of a modern console, I don't think anyone will actually care. If this console is just, it's way better than the Switch, we finally caught up with everybody else, and now you can play first-party Nintendo games with groundbreaking performance and graphics, 24-player Mario Kart, you know what I mean? I don't think anyone will care. But if they play the game of, well, we're not competing with anyone else, so we can have a console that's two consoles outdated when it comes to its power, people are going to say, okay, well, that's fine. Well, what's the innovation of the console? What's the gimmick this time? And they're going to be like, what do you mean? Well, every time there's a console, the reason that we accept the fact that Nintendo consoles are underpowered is because there's a neat gimmick that makes it fun to play. So what's your gimmick? They don't have one. From what we could see, there's nothing on this whatsoever to be revolutionary. In fact, they're still using cartridges. So doesn't that mean that this is going to severely limit the size of games that's on it? They're not using Blu-ray discs or whatever. Now, yes, they're using downloads, but I feel like this may have a problem. This may be, again, the first time in the entire console history of Nintendo they're not innovating. And will the market bear a console that is underpowered but doesn't have a gimmick to hook you? I don't know. I do believe that every Nintendo fan will run out and buy one in droves. They'll buy every game, every accessory, everything for it. That always happens at launch. That, for me, do I want it? Yes. Why? I love first-party Nintendo games. Those are my favorite things about these Nintendo consoles. I'm craving a new Mario. I'm craving a new Mario Kart. I'm craving all of these games, and I would love to play this on my new setup, showing you exactly what this looks like, because this probably won't do 4K, right? What do you think? Actually, that's an interesting question. How many people actually think that the Switch 2 will do 4K? I wonder. I really wonder, because I'm not sold that they're going to go for 4K. Being honest, we don't know yet. We don't know. There's no information yet. I would say 1440p. I don't know about 4K. So, it's going to be limited. But I'd love to cover the games for you guys in whatever the best quality I can. I could do 1440p, 60 frames. That's going to be awesome to actually represent these games as good as they can be on launch day. I hope I can get it. You remember what happened with the Switch, don't you? So I pre-ordered the Switch at Best Buy. On launch day, Best Buy delivered it to my home. I hooked it up. We downloaded we got Tears of the Kingdom on it. No, excuse me, Breath of the Wild on it as a launch title. And we had it all set up that night. We unboxed it. We hooked it up. Everything was good. No problems. It charged overnight. Next day we went to turn it on. Bricked. It bricked. And then I couldn't get a Switch for like 3-4 more months because they were out of stock everywhere, sold out. So I hope that they will be able to live up to demand. From what I read this morning, Nintendo is trying to give something like 20 million, I believe is the number. They're trying to produce 20 million consoles in the first year. So I hope that's true. I hope that they are able to produce 20 million consoles the first year, because it would suck if there's a drought and no one can get it. Obviously, I want it. Okay, I do. I want it at launch. I want to cover it for you guys. I want to play all the big games. It would be great. We haven't done a console launch in many years, so it would be hype. It would be something hype for 2025 for sure. But like I said, we don't know anything yet. So let's play casual optimist. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to get hype. I'm not. Okay, I'm going to be real, and I'm going to wait, bide my time and see what more information releases about it. But I'm definitely interested in it. I would like to have it at launch, and I would like to cover it for you. Okay, let's see what happens. But I'll be honest, I don't like the colors. I don't like baby blue and like peach as the colors. Red and blue made sense. Even if it was black and white, that would look sleek. Or gold or silver, that would look sleek. Baby blue and peach is not doing it for me. I don't know why that's the launch colors of the console. Hopefully there's a way to customize that. Maybe day one they'll sell more Joy-Cons that are different colors and everyone will buy the other colors, because I don't like that. And of course, you got to ask, there's no D-pad on that Joy-Con, so are they going to sell a Pro controller with a D-pad? Will the D-pad work? What accessories are going to be day one? I'm curious. But anyway, yeah, I am excited. It looks interesting, and I want good first-party games. Many years since I've used my Switch, really, right? Like maybe once a year I plug the thing in and play something on it. Right now, I gave it to my wife. She's actually playing it downstairs. She's been playing Mario Kart and stuff on it. So hopefully it ends up being good. I'll casual optimism for me moving forward this year after seeing that announced. Fair enough? Okay. Well, what do you guys think? We still have some extra time before we play Stalker. Now, guys, please support the stream. As you can see, we've got like $13 of support. Let's do better than that. The podcast is about to end. Let's do better than that. Let's get some contributions in here. All right. Got a lot of people on both sides here. Is there a problem on Kick? Someone had said that on Kick there's a problem with emotes. Is that true? Are emotes not working over on Kick? Oh, by the way, shout out to Dank Sneed Pimp who gifted us a sub. I missed it. I'm glad that I just checked. Thank you, Dank Sneed Pimp. There is one gifted sub this morning, and I missed out on it. Sorry about that. Let me get you up on the leaderboard here. What just happened? What is going on? I can't type today, apparently. There we go. Okay, thank you, Dang Sneed Pimp. Let's count that towards our goal. So we're up to $19 of support now, but let's get it rolling. Let's get some more. Let's get some membership. We haven't had memberships in a couple of days. Let's get some memberships on YouTube. All right. No, the emotes seem to be working. They weren't working for some people, apparently, but they seem to be working now. Okay. Baldic says, you get to enjoy playing all the Switch 1 games on it until Switch 2 games come out later in a year. That is true. I wonder if Switch 1 games will run better on it. Much like when you play Xbox One on Xbox Series S or X and they run better. Marine X says, I think the colors are targeted to kids, not us. Yeah, but we're the consumer. I'm sorry. I'm a lifelong gamer. I'm a consumer. I'm a content creator. It's got to appeal to me. And I don't think that peach and baby blue is very appealing to me. I want some other colors. If they sell other Joy-Cons at launch, I'll buy another Joy-Con that's a color scheme that I like. I'm okay with that, but I just want that customization option. I don't want to be stuck staring at ugly colors. The bottom line is, says he likes the look of the new Switch. The old one had a skinny, feminine, weird, childish look. This one has a slick Steam Deck look to it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there already are competitors that look like that. You know, when the Switch came out, nothing really looked like it. Now, this is like, there's many competitors that look just like that. So how are they differentiating themselves? I don't think they really are. Syndicator says, what do you think the Skyrim Switch port equivalent will be for Switch 2? GTA 5 or Red Dead 2? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Will they actually have some ported games now to Switch 2 that will run decently? I wonder. What's up, Game Boy? How are you? Good to see you. Yavanna says, Peach and Baby Blue are marketed to women. There are more women on Switch than any other console. Yeah, but I don't care. I'm a dude. I don't give a shit. I'm a guy, and I want colors that I like. I don't care what they put on that thing. They could cover that thing with sparkles and glitter, rainbows and unicorns. As long as I can make it look nice for me and my tastes, I'm okay with it. But if they limit me to that, I'm going to be upset. You know, I want it to look appeasing to me. I'm a male, and God damn it, that should be enough. All right. Really? Kick is having some problems since yesterday. They're updating the platform, so please be patient. Oh, okay. Yavanna says, well, I'm a woman. I prefer this color combo, so get over it. You're not a woman. Get out of here. There's no women on the internet. There's just dudes pretending to be women. You're not a woman. I don't believe that for a second. Stop lying. Okay. The Nintendo Defense Force is out as usual. Well, I mean, there's always going to be people who will blindly defend it, you know. I gave you advice on which system to buy Street Fighter 6. I did? Well, hopefully it was good advice. I don't remember what it was, but hopefully that was good advice, Marine X. This is an Xbox too? Well, everything's an Xbox, right? Could you play Xbox games on the Switch too? I wonder. Yavanna says, I'm a married 40-year-old woman. If you want to visualize me as a man, whatever floats your boat, or relax. Just relax. It's all jokes, all right? I'm not being serious here. Do you really think that this is the serious hour? The level 1 serious podcast where, you know. But in general, that does stand true that a lot of the people who claim that they're women online are faking it, are dudes. You know, but I'm sure at this point in 2025, there's probably maybe 2 or 3 women online. All right, let's continue, shall we? My demographics are mostly dudes. Let's be honest. There's probably like 100 women total who have ever watched my content. Oh, I gave you advice the month it launched. Oh, I probably gave you terrible advice then, because I bought it on Xbox at first, and that was a horrible choice. Like, I was on the wrong platform. It ran poorly on Xbox, and it had more lag, and I had, you could play anyone you wanted. It was cross-platform, but definitely performance-wise, Xbox was the worst choice. I should have got it on PlayStation. Am I interested in a game like Dynasty Warriors? No. We just looked at it yesterday. It's $70 for Dynasty Warriors Origins. Like, I don't think I want to drop $70 for a game that admittedly I know I'm going to be bored of after like 2 sessions. It's just going to be me chopping a bunch of enemies. On your screen, it looks more red than peach. It looks pure peach on my screen, and mine's, really good color scheme Sony here. So I don't know why it looked red. It looks really peach on my screen. No, I'm not playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Not interested. Australian Squid says, I'm a woman and I've watched you since I was 12 to 14. You'd be surprised how many women are online. How old are you now? How long have you been watching me? That's disturbing. Any woman watching me for more than like 10 minutes, you've probably been horribly influenced. Well, good to have you, though. Terrifying to think of. Let's see here. I got a $2 tip from the Blimp. It says, hey, man, I haven't been around for a long while. Life's busy. I wanted to thank you for your recent Bloodborne playthrough. I've been enjoying it on demand, and I hope you're well. You seem happy. Have a good one. Indeed. Many things are great. Things are going well. I'm enjoying life and success. And, yeah, things are good. Good to see you, the Blimp. I'm glad you're enjoying the playthrough. It went really well. Definitely my best Bloodborne run ever with the amount of parrying and how I had actually played very well. So I hope you really like it. And it looked great, right? Looked great on the PS5 Pro. I may at some point react to the Until Dawn trailer. I'm not going to do it today. I'd rather actually make some profits on my podcast this morning rather than the whole thing get claimed by a bunch of fucking, scummy companies that think they own all your content because you reacted to something in it. All right, so guys, this is the finale of the show. Thanks for chilling. Last chance if you want to ask me something or talk before we set up for Stalker 2. Again, it would be great to get some more support so we got a good tear into the gold. This is my only stream for today. But remember that after Stalker 2 is DSP Tries It, Jersey Mike's new spicy chicken Italian sandwich, which I cannot wait for. It sounds great. Excuse me. Really? Marine X says, I do pocket knife content and EDC stuff. I don't know what EDC means. What pocket knife do you carry? My Amazon Box Warrior is Benchmade Bailout. I have 2 pocket knives that I use. What an interesting question. First of all, I got my good old-fashioned, multi-purpose Swiss Army knife, which I use for many different things. This Swiss Army knife, you get so many tools and things on it that you can end up using for various different things. So there you go. Multi-purpose knife. And I've had this for many, many years, and I still use it to this day daily for stuff. Okay? But my go-to sharp knife for cutting things that I need to cut that are, like you said, box opener, is this bad boy right here. I'm not sure what company it is. I've owned it for many years as well. It's actually quite nice. So it's almost like a gunmetal, and it's basically kind of a flip blade. Auto snaps into place. Oh, here you go. It says right on it. It is Beretta. It's a Beretta knife. And it currently has, it has sticky glue from tape on it. Ew, I gotta clean it. That's disgusting. It's a Beretta knife. There you go. It's very sharp, and it has grooves to cut, like wire or rope. You can cut there, or it's very sharp there. And also this too, it has a what do you call it? Right there that you could cut things with as well, like a smaller version of the knife on the other side or whatever. And it snaps into place and it holds. Pretty nice knife. I've had this for many years. I don't know where I got it. I actually don't remember. I might have got it online. And it's got that locking mechanism. Now it's locked in place. And then you have to use your thumb to slide that to the side, and then it can fold back into place. So it's actually a quick lock snap system for Beretta knife. Pretty nice. Is it a bottle opener? It could be. There might be a bottle opener on the top. It probably is, right? Right there? Yeah. Most gun companies don't make knives. They sell their name to a Chinese company. I wouldn't be surprised if this is made in China. I don't think it says it on there, though. Oh, God, see, it's sharp. I just went like this, and it caught my skin. It's really sharp. Oh, this is what I was thinking. There's another knife on the back of it that you can use to cut things. So you could put things in there, and it'll cut it. So you could cut something there, or you can use the serrated part to cut a rope. So it has many uses. It's quite a good knife. I've had this for many, many years, and I always have these in the office because that's where I use them most. For seatbelt or rope. Right, yeah, exactly. Like a seatbelt slicer if you need to get out of a car, yeah. Strap cutter. Escape a seatbelt in a car accident. Aha. I don't put my belt on in the office, though. So I ride belt free in here. Don't report me. Yeah. Now show the guns? No, I can't do that. I would never do that. I can't believe people do that. They like to pull guns out on stream and shit. It's like, what are you doing? Like, really? You really think you should do that? That's a smart idea to start showing your firearms collection on a stream. Right. Anyway. What about flashlights? No, I'm not a flashlight aficionado. I have a few, but they're not great. I have a couple energizers. At one point, I had a really heavy one, but I think I got rid of it. I think it broke. Not a big flashlight guy. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I guess we're done. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, only one stream today. Don't expect all the usual content on the channel as usual. But tomorrow, we're back to usual. Tomorrow, we'll have a full day of gameplay streaming to end my streaming week. Okay? But I certainly hope you'll check out DSP Tries It, even if you can't watch it live. It'll be going live over on DSP Reacts later today. All right, guys? All right, well, thank you all for a great podcast. I hope that you enjoyed the show, especially the Switch React. And I shall be back tomorrow with another good one. Thank you all. A fun week-ending show tomorrow. Peace out, and see you then.